First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Donatella Saccone. I'm professor of economics, and I'm the convener of the two-year graduate program in food innovation and management. In this presentation, I will give you some general information about the nature of the course, of the program. Then I will give you some information about its structure, and finally my colleague from the administrative office, Dr. Eleonora Zilio, will give you some details regarding the administrative issues. And before entering in the description of the program, I would like to spend a couple of words about the title, the name that we decided to give to the program, because as you probably noticed, it's not just a program on food management, but besides food management, it also provides some knowledge and skills about food innovation. So managerial issues are just a part, an important part, but just a part of the program, because high attention is also paid on issues related to innovation, social, economic, environmental, cultural innovation in food systems. And if we want to synthesize with three words, the three keywords, the nature of the program, we can use analytical knowledge, creativity, and management. Why? Because first of all, the program aims at providing tools for both quantitative and qualitative analysis. Analysis of what? Of markets at first, but also more generally of the socio-geopolitical context in which you will operate. Once the analysis of current problems is made, the course aims at disseminating the unique expertise in the field of food studies in order to find, through a creative process, proper and innovative solutions. And finally, through advanced communication skills and management skills, the student will be able to implement and properly communicate this innovation. So these are the three pillars which the course program lies on. Then, if you had a look at the website, you saw that the program is composed by 10 different courses, required compulsory courses, plus 2 elective courses within two different thematic focus that I will show you. This is an important information. The 2-year master program gives you 120 CFU, its formative credits. What does it mean? It means that if compared to the 1-year master program, the number of credits that are obtained with the 2-year master is higher. In case you are interested, for example, to attend a PhD program. The attendance is mandatory and all the courses are taught in English. It means that the classes are in English, but also the materials, the handbooks, and the exams. And the starting date is September 21. Then here I reported in details the structure of the program year by year. First of all, in the first year, each semester starts with a series of preparatory workshops. Why these preparatory workshops? Because students attending the program usually have very different backgrounds because they come from different undergraduate programs. And then the aim of the preparatory workshops is to put on the same level, to bring to the same level the different knowledge and skills that students have at the beginning. And then we give some introductory knowledge about economics, about quantitative methods, that is statistics, about law and policy, on food technology, and on sensory and consumer science, so that after these workshops, the knowledge and skills of students are almost the same. Then, in the first year, semester, the program has 4 main courses: economics and development policy, management for food business, then advanced data analysis, and finally human ecology and gastronomic heritage. And then there is the first study trip. While in the second semester, if you notice, let me have 1 second. Okay, if you notice, the courses are less, not because it's less demanding, but because besides 3 courses, there is also a practical activity. Let's start from the courses. The courses are 3, and they are sociology and consumer behavior analysis, advanced food and trade law, and food science and technology. And then there is the field project. What is the field project? The field project is a very important activity because it's the first time that the student has the possibility to apply his or her knowledge and skills to the field. How? By following in small groups a project that is an applied project for companies or institutions. And then there is the second study trip. During the second year, the courses are all concentrated in the first semester, and we will see why. And you will have 3 courses plus 2 chosen from 1 focus. Let's see the 3 courses that are critical gastronomy and languages of taste, systemic design for circular economy, and history of food cultures. And then the students have the possibility to choose one of these 2 focuses. And why we decided to make students specializing at the end of the first semester of the second year? For a precise reason, because usually students attending the program, yeah, Paula, I'm going to tell you. Just give me just 1 second, and I'll tell you. Thank you for asking. I was saying that usually students can be divided by those who are more interested in the institutional sector and those who are more interested in working in the private sector. All the courses try to put together these 2 souls so that all the courses develop to some extent both skills and knowledge useful both for the private and the institutional sector. But at the end of the courses, we ask students to specialize in one. And usually students who are more interested in the institutional sector select the focus social and cultural innovation for food systems, while students who are more interested in the private sector select the second focus, that is on entrepreneurship in food business, developing both entrepreneurial skills and communication skills. One participant, Paul, to tell something about the course Critical Gastronomy and Languages of Taste. In general, you can consult the specific program and the specific aims of each course on the website To this purpose, I will ask Eleonora to share the link. Eleonora, potresti mettere il link, condividere sulla chat il link per gli obiettivi specifici di ciascun corso che si trovano sul sito web?
Sì.
Grazie mille. Okay, so my colleague Eleonora Ziglio is going to share with you the link where you can consult the program of it. Just to say a few words, critical gastronomy and languages of taste has to do with the culture of gastronomy and the philosophy of gastronomy. The professor who gives the course is a philosopher, so the approach to gastronomy is a critical approach from above all from a philosophical perspective. Anyway, you can consult in details the specific objectives of the course through the link that Eleonora will share with us. And as I told you, in the second semester of the second year, there are no courses because the second year is dedicated to the internship. The internship usually lasts from 4 to 6 months, is compulsory, and assistance beginning in order to help them in finding an internship that is coherent with their interests and needs. And then, okay, here I reported a series of strengths that characterize the program. We already saw some of them, but I all of them. First of all, the program has a strong link to the scientific and applied research activities of the university. That means the students are under Can you hear me now? Mi sentite bene adesso? Sorry, could you confirm that now you can hear me? Not really well again, because I saw that you lost me just for a while. Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm currently, as you can imagine, I'm locked down at home, and I'm really close to the device for the connection. I don't know why it's bad. I'm really sorry. Could you hear me better now? Lost you when you started. Okay. I will start from there. Thank you so much. Okay, so I was saying that first of all, students are deeply involved in the network, both institutional and industrial network of the university, and into the scientific and applied research activities. Then another strengthness of the program is that we use advanced interactive teaching. What does it mean? It means that usually the structure of a typical class is as follows. The first part of the class is used to give students a series of knowledge, theoretical knowledge, in a face-to-face setting, even if it's interactive, because we try to stimulate debate, but the first part is usually in a face-to-face setting. The second part of each class is used to apply the learned concepts to specific activities that are held in groups and that are interactive under the supervision of the professors. The third strength is that the university regularly organizes workshops with various realities in the food and wine sector. Then we organize with this program 2 study trips that have the aim to make students in contact with the other enterprises and institutions, mainly in Italy and in Europe. Then the field project, we already saw that, and the curricular internship under the supervision of the Career Center. The Career Center follows the students since the beginning of the program by giving them a series of hard and soft skills in order to propose themselves in the labor market and in order to find his or her own way. That means, to find the main sector and roles in which the students would like to work. Then let me move to next slide, which presents the main sectors of employment for the graduates and the main roles in which they are employed. And you can notice that they are various. The program gives students a series of knowledge and skills that make students able to work into different sectors. Regarding the employment sectors, I reported here at first the sectors more related with the private sector, like food companies, distribution, and specialized large-scale retail, wine and spirits, food and packaging, strategic consulting, and specialized finance. Then I reported the institution sectors like national and international institutions, non-governmental organizations, communication and marketing agencies, research and education institutions, and finally foundations. And also the roles in which our graduates are employed are various, from development and innovation to marketing and communication, to analysis and planning, sales, buyer, and design and innovation. If we look, we can observe a very positive value if we compare the percentage of students who find work year after graduation in our graduate program versus the national average, because the 91% of students of graduates from our program have found work within a year after graduation. The remaining percentage, both for UNISC and for national average, is not necessarily composed by people who did not find any work, but also includes those graduates who decided to continue their studies with, for example, a one-year master or a PhD, just to be clear. So it means that the value is very, very positive. We are very satisfied of this value. Now here you can find a series of administrative information that my colleague Eleonora will explain in details. And after that, you will have the possibility to ask questions, both by raise your virtual hand that you can find at the bottom of the page on the right, or you can also decide to write your questions on the chat, as you prefer. So, Eleonora, the floor is yours.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Donatella. I'm here. I'm sorry, I have some technical problems. I cannot share the video. I try to give you some information, a general overview about the administrative issues. In particular, during my speech, I will give you also on the chat some useful link and some contact of my colleague. You can get in touch with them to have a specific interview or to ask for more specific information about their subject. So as you can see, the online pre-enrollment started in February, is going on in this moment, and it will end in July 24th. The pre-enrollment is divided into 2 sessions. In this moment, next week, the first session will end the 23rd of May, and we'll be able to publish the first ranking list. Is a partial ranking list, and at the end of May. But you will have time also till the end of July in order to do the second session for your pre-enrollment. But on the next slide, I can give you more information about this session. To be a candidate for our course, what do you need? You will find, and I can share here the link, you will find the admission process regulation into our website, and I suggest you to read carefully these documents, because you find all the minimum academic requirements you need to do the pre-enrollment. In our course, we have a specific maximum number of students, so 40 students per year. And the process is divided into 3 specific steps. Each step has a specific score, a specific point. So the first step is on our website, into the admissions part. You can start scrolling down on our page, clicking on the button saying that you can apply now. So here you can start our process for the pre-enrollment online process. So going on, you have to collect into our website some particular documents: your CV, your qualification, and the motivational test. There is a form you can download from our website. You have to fill this form. So this element will compose your dossier, what we say dossier. So the collection of the documents and the points related to this dossier are 40 points. So when you finish to collect and to upload the documents, you will receive an email from the Segreteria Studenti, the student office and didactic office, that you complete successfully this procedure. And in this email, you will receive also the link for the next step. The next step is the written test online, and this written test is, as you can see, 30 points. What is this written test? Is an analytic exam composed by 4 questions. It's, of course, it's in English, and the written test is a maximum duration of 90 minutes. So you will receive an email with all the detail, but pay attention, because when you click on the link and you start a written test, there is a counter going on, starting, so you cannot stop the test. When you finish the test, you will receive another confirmation about this test, and the registrar's office, the student office, will send you another email with other information about the online interview, with the day and the time for the online interview with the commission. The evaluation committee is composed by a professor and sometimes also by a native English-speaking professor. So after these three steps, the pre-enrollment is end. So I can go on. As you can see in the other in this slide, as I said before, we have
Eleonora, sorry for interrupting you, but there's a question related to the first round of admission, and if you agree, I can answer right now before.
Okay.
Gonna plan on a play. Paul, yeah, there is an advantage. The advantage is that for those who apply during the first round, there's the advantage that they are automatically admitted to the program in case they get a score equal or greater than 80. While those who apply during the second round will have will be added to the final admission list, and then it depends. The admission depends on their rank. There's also a second advantage, that is the first round of admission is going to finish in a few days, and then by the end of this month, people applying during the first round will receive a definitive answer if they score equal or greater than 80. While if you apply during the second round, you'll have the final decision by the end of July. That means that if you apply during the first round of admission and you are admitted, you can start planning the logistic parts, or in case you are not admitted, you can also plan you can also search for an alternative in time, no? The other advantage is that if you score, but planning so far is pretty okay, Paul. I will give you also some information about COVID-19 related situation. I was saying that there's also another advantage of applying during the first round, because if you score less than 60 points, you are not admitted at all. But if you score between 60 and 80 and you are not satisfied about your scores, what you can do is to try again the online test. In this case, if you are not satisfied, you can say, okay, I know that I can do more and better, and then I ask for trying again the online test. No, so there are these three advantages. Well, if you agree, I will ask Eleonora to conclude the presentation, and then I will give you some information about the COVID-19 related situation, and I will also reply to Silvia about her bachelor degree. So Eleonora, you can go on.
Thank you. As Donatella said, we have the two admission sessions, and only if you have 80 points, you have a direct admission during the first round. Otherwise, you will be in the ranking list, but you will not be admitted at all if you have less than 60 points. So we can go on. And now we have the cost and services of our fee for the course. So for the first year, the annual fee is 15,500 euros for the first year, and for the second year is 10,200 euros. What does this fee include? Here you can find all the information, so all the activities, lectures, tastings, seminars, and events, workshop, practical activities designed by the university. All the textbooks, so books, copies, handouts, so all what you need to study to be prepared for the exam is done by the university. The participation in all the events promoted by the university and also by Slow Food, some famous events like Salone del Gusto and Terra Madre, but also specific events promoted by the university, by UNESCO. For a student coming out of Europe, non-European students will provide a private insurance policy. So for Italian students and European students, the insurance is okay because it's provided by the Italian system and by the European system. But we provide the insurance policy for non-European students. The credits for the academic tables. What is academic tables at UNESCO? It's our canteen, and it's a particular project because it is a didactic project. The students have a card, and with this card they can book advance their meal, and you can upload in this card some credits. Starting at your first year, you will have 5,000 credits in your card, and also at the second year 2,000 credits in your card that correspond, as you can see, 400 euros and 200 euros. So you start your year with credits available to book your meal at the academic tables. Then you have access to all the services of the career office. As Donatella said before, the career office is specific for our students. In particular, he will take care of the students of this course, not only provide information, but provided individual information about internship according to your idea for your future job. And there also we can provide enrollment certificate, official transcript, legalization of diploma. There are costs included into the fee. So the next step is about the scholarship opportunities. As a candidate of UNESCO, the university provide two different scholarships. One partial exemption for every student from any nationality, and one total exemption is available for non-European candidates. About the scholarship, I invite you to read all the information on the website because there are specific announcements related to the financial requirements and also the merit requirements. But what I can do is also to provide the name and the email of colleague Manuela Barra, because she will be available also for some Skype and by phone to provide the specific information, because I know maybe it's difficult to understand some financial and merit requirements underlined into the documents. Another opportunities is for students graduated at UNESCO, and for them they will receive university fees reduction during the first year. For Italian students, there are also some loans with some bank collaborating with UNESCO. And if you're interested, if you're an Italian student, if you live in Italy, you can ask this information to another of my colleague, and also I will put here the contact for the loans and for the scholarship, in particular for the international student. One information in addition is for the international students to start as soon as you can all the procedure related to the documents for visa request. About visa, about permit of stay, the student office will give you all the support, all our help. We have one person dedicated to international student giving help to for all these requests. We can provide documents for your embassy, for the consulate, and we know you have to start this process as soon as you can. I don't have any other information, so if Donatella, you want to go on with other topics.
Thank you, Eleonora. So I can start answering your questions, your specific questions, and if you have any additional questions, I repeat that you can both raise your hand and speak, and write the question in the chat. Well, let's start from the COVID-19 related situation to answer Paul's question. Yeah, you are right. It's difficult to plan. And what the university is doing is to be prepared for any possible scenario. By now, it seems that the most likely scenarios are at least three. The first is a scenario in which we can come back to the normality and to in-person activities since September. The second scenario is a mixed scenario in which there are still some restrictions, and then we will have a mix of both in-person activities and classes and online classes. And the last scenario that cannot be foreseen is a scenario in which we will come back at a national or at an international level to full restrictions. Of course, these three scenarios do not depend on us, but depend on the national and international rules. But the university is prepared to face each of these three scenarios. For example, in this month, the university is giving online classes, and the level of satisfaction, student satisfactions about the online classes is very, very, very high. Evelyn is asking if it's possible to contact current students. Now I will ask Eleonora to give you some details about that. But if you talk to current students of the first year, because they are those who are following lectures, who are attending lectures, ask them about the quality of the online classes, because I mean, even within this very lockdown situation, the university is being able to keep high the quality of the courses. Of course, I will not be honest if I tell you, don't worry, Paul, we will come back to the normality by September, because we don't know. I think that by now the best solution and the best reply is that we are ready and prepared for all the possible scenarios. Since here there are also some foreign participants, I want to also to underline that there is also a fourth possible scenario. That is, in Italy we don't have any restrictions, so that we can come back to in-person classes by September or by October. I mean, in some time we will be able to come back to our normality. But in your own country, there are some restrictions so that you are not able to reach Pollenzo. In this case, we will start with the in-person activities, but we will give the possibility to follow online the classes to those people who are not able to reach Pollenzo. Also in case of some regional restrictions. Eleonora wrote the contact to ask. Yes. To ask the secretariat, to the secretary office to be put in contact with current students. Sylvia asked, I have a bachelor's degree in biology and it is not present in the requirement list. Can I apply? Yeah, you can apply, because for those people who come from an undergraduate program is not in the list, we give the possibility to take the necessary credits. In this case, I ask Eleonora to share the link in which you can find the rules, because in order to apply and participate, not to apply, to take a series of credits in some key disciplines, like, for example, economics, sociology, and so on. What we do is to give you the possibility to do that by the beginning of 2021, and we follow you during this process. That means that you will take these credits under the guidance of our own professors. So you don't have to take these credits outside the university, but you can do that within the university under our guidance. Eleonora has shared the link in which you can find more information, Silvia, about your question. Francesco, you raise your hand. So please, if you want to intervene.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Francesco? Yeah, okay, please.
Yeah, hi.
Very well.
I have just a few questions.
Hi.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for your presentation. You answered some of, one of them, about the COVID-19 situation, because one of my questions was about the use of the academic facilities and mainly the tavole accademiche, since part of our fee, it's going to be in credits for the tavole accademiche. In case we cannot use that, there's going to be a reduction of the fee or something like that.
Okay, do you also have a second question?
Yeah. The second one is I am interested a lot in innovative food production systems like hydroponics, and of course in food itself. I've been working in restaurants for a few years now, 3 years during my studies, and I wanted to know if this is the right master, the right course to follow if I want to work in this kind of business, like food production, managing like a company that produces food in an innovative way, high quality food. And the last question is about if you have any advice on how to prepare for the test, because I read some of the questions and I found myself kind of disoriented.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. about your question on the fees. I'm not able to answer this question because it's an administrative issue that is not of my competency. What I can tell you is that the university will deal with the different scenarios when they will occur. No? So I think we are not able to answer these questions. In this month, what we are trying to do, and also successfully, is to substitute those activities that we are not able to take in person with alternative online activities, like seminars, like a kind of virtual study trips, while we are waiting for coming back to the normality. So they, for example, are not substitute for the study trip, but it's something that we give in the meanwhile. No? Regarding your second question, some more specific question about your individual situation, please feel free to send me an email. But in general, from what you said, I think that the program can well prepare you for your aims, because it has a multidisciplinary approach that give you the possibility to find innovative solution, not only in terms of product innovation, but also in terms of system innovation and in terms of social and cultural innovation. So innovation at 360 degrees. Regarding the last question, it's a quite common worry, and the best way for preparing yourselves for the test and the online interview is not to study on some books or handbooks or materials, but it's to keep you updated on the current news about the food sector in general with a global perspective. Because what we will discuss during the online test and the online interview is about the main current problems and issues that the food sector is dealing with. No? So this is the best way. Try to find news about different aspects of the food sector. Hope my replies were useful.
It was great. Thank you so much.
If there is something. You're welcome. And Silvia asks, I'm Silvia, thank you for your bachelor answer. I have a doubt. If I apply with other students that have the right bachelor degree, do I run the risk to be penalized in the admissions process? No, because in the admission process, if you demonstrate to have good analytical capacity, good communication skills, a strong interest in the topic, no, you are not penalized. You can be penalized in case of other things being equal, but it's very difficult that two candidates have the same profile. No, so I think that it's a remote possibility. And Evelyn asked, dear Donatella, could you go more in detail on how the oral exam is carried out? Of course. The oral exam is all the oral exam. It's an interview. I prefer to call it an interview. It's not an exam, it's an interview, and it's carried out by myself and another colleague, another professor. I want to be present as more as possible to all the interviews because I like to have a comparative perspective and I like to know all the potential candidates. And in the interview, we mainly aim at exploring in details the reasons why you decided to apply, and then the motivation, your motivations. No, for this reason, I like to call it an interview rather than an exam, because we will discuss on some issues related to the food world, but I mean, just to explore your analytical capacity, but it's a very, I will say, informal interview in which we want to know who you are, which have been your path and your studies, and which are the reasons why you would like to apply. And Paul is asking how many candidates gets in per year. It was 40, right? Could you confirm? Yeah, we admit a maximum of 40 candidates, but as the coordinator of the course and as a general policy of the university, we prefer to have even less students but very motivated, rather than to take students just to reach the number of 40. That means that in some years we have less than 40 students because we evaluated less than 40 students adapt for our program. But it's a maximum of 40 candidates accepted. While you, how many admission requests do you receive? It depends from year to year, but we are well above the number of 40. For this reason, my suggestion is to apply if you are highly motivated. And since here there are many foreign students, I think that it could be useful a clarification about the difference between the 2-year master program and the 1-year master programs. For Italian students, probably this is quite obvious, but I notice every year that the Italian educational system creates some confusion about that, because the 2-year master program is what in Italy we call laurea magistrale, and differs from the 1-year master programs for some aspects. First of all, as we already saw, the number of credits. That means that with the 2-year master program, you get more credits, allowing you for applying for PhD programs and also for some national public job opportunities in the public sector. A second difference is the approach, because in the 1-year master programs you have a very specific topic that is analyzed, like communication, like creativity and education, and so on, with the intervention of many different professors and experts. With the 2-year master program, on the contrary, you have a broader topic, but few professors who will stay with you for an entire semester. So you will have the possibility to explore more different issues. That means that if you are very interested into a very specific topic that is analyzed in one of the 1-year master program, maybe the 1-year master program is more suitable. If you want to keep open more possibilities, more opportunities, because you know that are interested in the food sector, but you still don't know in which role and in which specific subsector you want to work, then probably the 2-year master program is more suitable. So there's no, of course, one that is better than one other, but it depends on your interest. Another important difference has to do with the average class composition. What does it mean? It means that the most part, not all, but the most part of students attending the 2-year master program are students with a lower average age and less working experience, because the most of them just concluded their undergraduate program. It doesn't represent a problem if you have a higher age or if you already have some work experiences, because we also have students with these characteristics. But what matters is that you know that. The Italian system can create some confusion about that. I prefer to say since the beginning that these are the characteristics, so if you choose to attend, you already know what to expect. Hope that this will be of some help. Do you have any additional question? Paul, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Paul, you can. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. This overview was really good, especially the end. I have one quick question. You said the younger, like Italian students, they get out of the bachelor degree and then they normally do the laurea magistrale. So they are younger and less job experienced, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got this right. And my second question is, in which degree your master students are involved into research carried out by the university?
Sorry, could you repeat that? Because there was a problem with the connection.
In which degree the master students are involved into research carried out by professors and the university?
Okay, it's quite an individual choice because we present some activities, compulsory activity and case studies that have to do with the UNISG research activities. But there are some students who are particularly interested in that, so that, for example, some students decide for their internship to stay in UNISG and to do their internship within UNISG under the guidance of the professor on one of our research programs. Or just to give you another example, one of our activities in the academic year, in the current academic year, before the lockdown, of course, was to organize a series of Friday fora about sustainability on different topics related to our research activities, so that small groups of students who were interested meet with an academic tutor once a month. One time per month, discussing and working on some specific research, applied or academic activities on the various dimensions of sustainability, like the environmental dimension, like the social dimension, and so on. So, I mean, there are some ways in which you can be involved. One is equal for everyone, but you can also choose the degree of involvement you like by directly asking professors and the coordinator of each program.
Thank you very much. This answers my question.
You're welcome. And regarding your first question, usually the average age of the 2-year master program is lower, let's say around 25, while the average age of the 1-year master programs is a little bit higher, but rather than the average, what differs is the range, because the range of age in the 1-year master program is larger. We have from undergraduate students to 45, 50 age students, while in the 2-year master program, the range is smaller. And I underline again, this does not mean that if you are older, it represents a problem. For example, this year we have a student who's 40. So, I mean, it does not represent a problem at all. He's satisfied and he's well involved in all the activities of the class. But since this is an anomaly of the Italian system, I want you are aware of that since the beginning. So it's not to discourage you, but just to be clear since the beginning. Do you have any additional question? Well, it was a pleasure to. Okay, Paul, please.
Can you see me? Can you hear me? Sorry, I have one last question.
Yeah, I can also see you.
Perfect, thank you. Now you also see me in person. Regarding what people do after their degree, how many people work in international organizations, or how is it divided between the private sector and the organizational and institutional sector? You outlined that there are two ways at the end, so you can set two different focuses. If you make a guess on the percentages, is it like 50-50 divided, or how many people focus on which topic at the end?
No. Usually, it's let's say 40% of students interested in the institutional sector and 60% of students interested in the private sector. But since this innovation is something that I introduced a couple of years ago, the fact that I want that all the courses deal both with institutional and private issues, because either you like it or not, you need to have some skills for both the sectors, because the world is changing and you are required to communicate both with private and institutional sectors apart from the sector in which you are working. So since I introduced this innovation a couple of years ago, I'm noticing it increasing in the percentage of people interested in the institutional sector. So right now it is 40-60, 60% for private sector, but it's increasing also the interest on the institutional sector. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, there are some connection problems now. I switched off my video again. But I got your answers. Thank you.
You're welcome. And are there any additional answers? Okay, guys, in any case, I will be here since for some minutes again, if you have some other questions, so that I can reply. And alternatively, if you have some additional questions in next days, you can send me an email and I will be happy to give you the specific information you will require. For the academic part of the program, if you have any administrative issues or questions, you should refer to the Secretariat. So thank you for participating. I remain here if you want to ask me something. And have a nice evening, or again afternoon or morning, depending on your location. So bye-bye, and thank you for participating. Hope to see you in Pollenzo.
Bye-bye. Thank you.